What is going on there, everyone? And thank you to all the veterans on this Veterans Day and every day for that matter. Thank you for all you do to keep us and the world safe. But let's move on. Lindsey Graham, impeachment is dead on arrival if Senate doesn't talk to whistleblower. Well, that's not going to happen. We know they're not going to let us talk to the whistleblower. We can't even say his name. My video and many others on YouTube was taken away because we mentioned the guy's name. You know, trying to bring information to you, the people, which we got from news sources. So it was a published name that we can't even bring to you because we live, apparently, in China. Didn't know that. But now I do, I guess. Weird times we live in, people. Weird times. Our freedoms are being slowly chipped away at, and no one seems to care. It's really upsetting. Republican South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham said Sunday that any impeachment trial that does not include access to the whistleblower would be dead on arrival in the Senate. Graham made these comments during an appearance on Sunday Morning Futures with Maria Bartiromo. Now let's think about this. I agree with him there. I agree. It should be. This whistleblower's statement was supposed to be the nail in the coffin for Donald J. Trump. But guess what? It wasn't, because it's nonsense. This whole freaking scam is nonsense. Come on, people. Even you radical leftists have to know in your heart of hearts that there's nothing impeachable the president has done. This is all a sham. You have to know that. Unless you're that stupid. Which, some of you may be. I've seen a lot of videos and stuff showing the way the far left acts in public and this, that, and the other. And yeah, so I could see some of you are just plain stupid. Some of you, I will not, I cannot let myself believe that all these people, all these far left people, my fellow American citizens, are that dumb. But I've been proven wrong many times, so. But let's see. He wants to hear from, let's see who else the Republicans want to hear from during these hearings. This is from Axios. Hunter Biden, which the Democrats are saying there's no, it's not necessary for Hunter Biden at all. It's what? Hunter Biden is one of the whole reasons we're even having this discussion. Because Trump wanted to see how what was going on with the corruption probe into Hunter Biden and Burisma Holdings. And some other things. So it was, well, I can't think of the other thing. There was another big one that he named in the transcript, but I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, I mean, come on. Hunter Biden, kind of a key person. Kind of a key person. Devin Archer, Alexandria Chalupa, David Hale, Tim Morrison, Nellie Orr, Kurt Volker, Eric... Oh. Anonymous whistleblower. That's not anonymous because everyone knows who he is. So, I mean, it's public information. You can go on website, news. Real, what people call real news. You know, the legacy media. Many of them have reported his name also. I believe Eric Trump, I believe it was Eric, that put out the whistleblower's name because he copied and pasted a clip from the news onto his Twitter, and everyone went crazy over it. And all individuals the whistleblower relied on to draft a complaint. So that's the list. That's who the Republicans in the House and in the Senate want to hear from. And the Democrats are saying no to quite a few of these people. No, we're not going to let you do that. Well, let's think about this in another way. Let's think about this as if it's a court of law. Any one of us are going, say any one of us are facing what the president's facing. This would have already been declared a mistrial, most likely. Almost 100% this would have been a mistrial. Or just for the fact that Schiff lied on numerous occasions, but just pointing out Just one, he said, I have had no contact with the whistleblower. When we found out that that is not true. That's very not likely the case, considering his staff and the whistleblower met on a few occasions. So you're going to say your staff met with him, but you didn't? I don't believe you, Schiff. I don't believe anything you say, Schiff. I think you should be removed from the government, Mr. Schiff. Possibly placed in jail for treason. Bartiromo began by asking Graham about the list of witnesses the House had planned to call in the coming weeks. You said on the program not too long ago that Hunter Biden needs to answer questions. What is your reaction to the list that your colleagues in the House have prepared as far as those they would like to hear from? She asked. Okay. They could care less about getting to the truth, what really happened, why the prosecutor was fired. The John Solomon FOIA request is stunning. You can see the efforts in the State Department where they were worried about the conflict of interest between Hunter Biden and the company being investigated, Graham responded. I mean, it's so much more than that. You know, they're really trying to debate this whole quid pro quo thing on Trump. You know, that's what they're trying to do. Get him with this, that, and the other. When in the way a quid pro quo works, both parties, you know, because they were really upset that there was, even for a moment, aid withheld. Well, there could be many reasons for that. Many reasons that don't even actually have a good reason behind them. Like, it could just be government bureaucracy and tape they have to cut through, red tape they have to cut through to get this stuff to go out. Understood. But we literally have the video evidence of Biden Sr., you know, old crazy Biden, admitting exactly a quid pro quo and proud of it, and no one's saying a damn word. No one's saying a word about that. Why are we not talking about that? Why is the media refusing to talk about, I mean, literally refusing? When it's brought up by like a right-wing pundit, they shut the conversation down. Why is this happening? How is this happening? This is insanity. This is pure insanity, people. Pure insanity. Don't you think, and another, just another side point, they keep saying that Trump was doing this to go after his political opponents. Going after Hunter Biden, who is not a political opponent, how is that going after a political opponent? Because that's what we really want to get to the bottom of, is what was going on with Hunter Biden. And of course, we've already have the admittance of a quid pro quo by Joe Biden himself. Why is he not being investigated? So our president, our active current president, is being brought up for impeachment from people's, if you read the transcripts, the only damning things that are in there are people's personal opinions. Not fact-based anything. It's all their opinions. I think, whenever I hear the word I think out of these people, I know I can pretty much just shut whatever they're going to say down. I don't care about your opinions, people. I care about seeing factual evidence, and we haven't seen none of that. We haven't seen the factual evidence. Trump has actually put out the transcript of the phone call with Zelensky. He's planning on putting out the total transcript, which is a bad thing that we even have to go through this route, because this is going to really harm our foreign policies. Because now foreign leaders aren't going to ever trust talking to our presidents because they know their phone calls are being listened to and could be leaked at any time. That's dangerous. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Because Orange Man bad. That's why that doesn't matter. We will look at that. The South Carolina senator said, I consider any impeachment in the House that doesn't allow us to know who the whistleblower is to be invalid, because without the whistleblower complaint, we wouldn't be talking about any of this. Absolutely true. I agree with that. 100%. How could you not? That doesn't even make sense if you disagree with that. And I also see the need for Hunter Biden to be called to adequately defend the president. Called to act. Okay, the president. And if you don't do those two things, it is a complete joke. Okay, I see what he was saying. Sorry, twisted myself up in my own brain. I do that a lot, as y'all know. Graham went on to address the reasons he felt Hunter Biden needed to be called before the Senate, saying there were questions not only about the people who were involved, but also about the timeline of the investigation. But back to the whistleblower, he continued. It's impossible to bring this case forward, in my view, fairly, without us knowing who the whistleblower is and having a chance to cross-examine them about any advice they may have. If they don't call the whistleblower in the House, this thing is dead on arrival in the Senate. Democratic Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, during a Sunday morning appearance on CNN's State of the Union, told host Jake Tapper that she didn't see any need to talk to Hunter Biden and referred to any further investigation into his connections with Ukraine as a sham. That is the sham. The sham is that they're trying to say that protecting the Bidens is the sham in this whole thing. It's admitted on freaking film. Joe Biden saying, well, we're not going to give you the money if this prosecutor isn't fired. Well, I'll be done. Blah, blah, blah. He was fired, wasn't he? That's a quid pro quo. Huh. Clearly stated. He gave us all the lineup to how it happened and everything. But yet he's untouchable because he's running for president and he won't win. That's another thing. I'm almost positive that Joe Biden is running for president just to protect himself and his son at this point. That's the only reason why I think he even got into the race in the first place. Is he did this because they knew there was an investigation happening against him and his son and their corrupt dealings. And so they're using the cloak of running for political office to keep them from having to face any consequences. Well, what about the president? So he's got more protection than the president of the United States, than the acting president of the United States. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Very retarded. God bless it. You know, what we're seeing here is it really is, it's a coup. We're seeing a coup. I've never wanted to use that word. I never wanted to use that word because I didn't believe it for the longest time. But the more and more that comes out around this whole nonsensical impeachment inquiry, you're seeing it. And then, to top it off, you know, my reckoning for saying that we are really in a coup is this via the Daily Caller. Nikki Haley, top U.S. officials told me we had to undermine Trump or else people would die. No, that's... But yeah, Kelly and Tillerson confided in me that when they resisted the president, they weren't being insubordinate. They were trying to save the country. Huh. So that's what they thought. You're going to impeach a president for asking for a favor that didn't happen and giving money, and it wasn't withheld, Haley asked rhetorically on the CBS interview, which aired Sunday. I don't know what you would impeach him on. She added, when you look at the transcript, there's nothing in that transcript that warrants the death penalty for the president, which that's what they call the impeachment process. But yeah, Tillerson did not respond to the Post's request for comment, and Kelly told reporters that if providing Trump with the best and most open legal and ethical staffing advice from across the government so he could make an informed decision is working against Trump, then guilty as charged. I think y'all surrounded him with people that you knew you could manipulate into getting to work for you. This is ridiculous, man. This is freaking ridiculous that we're even going through this. This truly is a sham. This is the sham. This impeachment hearing is the sham. Not the investigation into the Bidens. That's a legitimate investigation that should happen. It's the Biden situation is everything that the Democrats wanted the Trump situation to be. That's what we're seeing. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, I'm seeing it clear as day, too. It's not like I'm having to jump through hoops to make these connections. It's right there. It's right there. They're trying to get the president on a what they consider to be a quid pro quo, which it is not a quid pro quo. Ugh, it's not. It's just not. Look up the definition, and then go through all of this. It's not a quid pro quo. First off, the Ukrainians didn't know anything was even being held for any reason. That right there is enough to negate the quid pro quo. Oh, people. They're trying to make us lose our minds. I think that's all it is. But it ain't gonna work that easy because I can just turn this stuff off and go outside and enjoy myself. But I tell you what, this is a travesty for America. What we're seeing here, this political nonsense process of political impeachment, not for high crimes or misdemeanors, none of that, just because people don't like the president, is disgusting. How dare the Democratic Party do this to this country? How dare you, Nancy Pelosi, you, Adam Schiff, Nadler, all of you, how dare you? I mean, I pity y'all. I pity you over this because you're so pathetic of people. I'd love to hear your comments, whether you agree with me or whether you disagree. And if you disagree, give me a list of reasons why you disagree, and I will take them to heart, and I'll read them, and maybe we'll even have a discussion about it. But as always, like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all on the flip side.